Welcome everyone, back again. Random vlog from a previous leg day from last week, that was Saturday. I have a simple split of push pull legs, so 6 workouts a week in a perfect scenario with my good friend Alex, doing some warm-ups, usual stuff, hip hinges, just some single leg, whatever you would call it, like cross pattern RDLs. Just turn on the glutes, turn on the hamstrings, getting stuff ready for the real deal. I mean, real deal. All I'm gonna do today is a couple of heavy unilateral kettlebell swings, fairly heavy. Then we can do some leg presses, and it was planned to do some calves, but only remember about them like at the very end of the workout. So that's too bad. You live and you learn. So warming up the calves, tibialis, all the good stuff, because that stuff directly influences your balance. So yeah, you can just do like literal dorsiflexions. You can hook a kettlebell on your foot, do some dorsiflexion stuff. So easy peasy. Just make sure you get those muscles full of blood working and all that stuff. So this presumably targets your soleus, which is underneath your gastroc, and that's the muscle which goes from your heel over your knee joint and attaches on your femur. So it's double joint muscle, crosses two joints. Pretty complex stuff. So this just side reaches, and make sure that the knee is tracking like a little bit outside your big toe, not caving in. Your arch is all in. Make sure the whole 3 points of your foot is in good contact with the floor, like your heel, the ball of the foot, and the other part of the front foot, which is underneath your pinky, if that makes sense. And it creates like a triangle of balance. Reach as far forward as you can, as far back as you can, and focus on all the 3 spots on your foot in contact with the floor the whole time, just different directions. Easy peasy. Followed by the kettlebell swings. I'm using either 28 or 32 kilo kettlebell. This is what I like to do. Just loading one side in a cross pattern. I always feel my core feels better. I evenly load my legs, my posterior chain. Everything just works way better when you load it on one side, especially if you include your core, your back, and all that stuff. So nothing too crazy, just doing that. I did like 3 or 4 sets, about 30 swings in a set. Easy. So before you do anything like that, I would recommend that you master a simple original kettlebell swing. So on to the main meat and potatoes of the session. 100 kilo leg press for about 25 to 30 reps. So really trying to get used to those high rep, high volume sets. Just I would say that the body will just adapt and it won't feel as disgusting, but I believe that leg training in general, it should feel like your leg's gonna fall off. That's the only way how you can get any growth on your quads and hamstrings and whatever. So a lot of reps, a lot of volume, and reasonably heavy. I mean, not like 1 rep max heavy. I would say about 65%, up to 75% of your 1 rep max, and just bringing it to like a good fatigue until you can't really move at all, until like you feel like you weren't gonna cry. So that's legs. Trying to be nice and controlled on my way down. Again, ensuring foot placement and weight distribution on my feet are as even as possible. As even as possible distribution from my right to my left leg, and trying to be aware of that through the whole set. So that's the tricky part. Bringing that awareness of your body, loading both sides evenly, you're going to often notice that a lot of people have one leg bigger or weaker than the other. That's just because they train their legs unconsciously, and predominantly they're using the holy trinity: deadlift, squat, and whatever. No, two exercises: deadlift and squat, and they rely only on those to like get everything done. But there's no promise that you are loading both sides evenly. Even if you feel like you're doing it, for the most part, I can guarantee you, you are not, because usually we are one side dominant just because of the lifestyle, shifting more weight on one leg, sleeping on one side, using one arm over the other, like either you're right-handed or left-handed. Inevitably, you will see that either some part of your hip muscles are stronger and more aware on one side than the other because you just use them more, not necessarily in the right motor pattern and the right combination of like the muscles are not working as they should. Like some muscles are not doing the job they are supposed to be doing, but proportionally they are stronger than the other side. So just to even that out, you should include a lot of unilateral work. So single leg deadlifts, right? Single leg kettlebell swings. There's many things you can do, like when you do your overhead presses, balance on one leg at least for the warm-up reps. When you warm up for your bench press, do a lot of stuff coming up to that heavy weight with one side instead of like just using both arms. Because I'm deviating away from the legs, but there's no way to separate your upper body and your lower body. Like they both work together. Like you can't just think, oh, they like I'm training upper body and it does not like influence your legs in any way. If your spine shifts to one side, it will distribute the weight on the other leg more, and it's just it's just gonna happen. So another good way how to load unilaterally your squat is this thing. What was the name of the exercise? Bulgarian split squat. And after Coach Eugene's suggestion, I'm focusing on the back leg more, proportionally more than before, as the front leg, to give a good stretch on the hip flexors, on the quad, and actually like thinking about pressing myself up by driving that back foot in the box. Fairly simple. Sucks. This exercise it's just not cool. It just never feels good. Also, I haven't been training legs for months, so that could get explained why I get like super quick fatigue, especially with a low weight like that. Again, foot placement, weight distribution, alignment of your spine, all that stuff must be on point. The front leg, and like including every single muscle, like whole whole body tension. Every single part of your body must be nice and rigid, like reasonably rigid, because the more stability you introduce in the system, the better it will perform. Also, the tensegrity, all the tension throughout the body in the right amounts or in the right way enhances your central nervous system signaling to the muscle. Your brain communicates with the muscle much more efficiently if you tense your body. So work from the way up, from the way down, way up. So work from your feet up. That's what I'm trying to say. So always set your exercises from the bottom up. So foot placement, weight distribution, like even distribution with the heel and the front of the foot. Toes spread as much as you can. Although my these sneakers are pretty worn in, so I can't spread my toes. In general, I would do these type of exercises with no shoes or minimalistic shoes like Vibram or Vivo Barefoot, whatever you want to use. The less cushion, the better. Any like all these like cool looking shoes with the elevated heel and all that shit, I believe it's not very functional. It's not really, you're not doing yourself a favor. It's like you being fat and lazy, but instead of working out, you just like do a liposuction and just get fat after 2 weeks again. Not 2 weeks, after a couple of months. Just don't work around your weaknesses. Solve the problem. Solve the core of the problem. And most people, and trust me, I'm a group class instructor, and whenever there is anything, any movement involved, most people's feet are fucked. Their knees are caving in, they have flat feet, they have zero mobility in their hips, their knees crack, their spines are stiff. It's just all bad, unconscious habits. So we need to get rid of those. And the sooner you start, the better. The longer you drag it, the worse it gets. The worse it gets. You're gonna get even more stiff. You start to wear down your joints because of the bad, like improper alignment, and you're taking away all the stress which should be absorbed by the muscle, which is elastic and strong, especially if you condition it enough, to a bone and cartilage and ligaments, which are strong, but they do not recover nearly as fast and as well as muscle does, because for a simple reason, there is zero to none blood flow comparison to the muscle. I mean, there is some blood flow, but it's significantly less. That's why your ligaments, if they're torn, they probably will never heal unless you do a surgery. So think about that. Load your muscles, not your bones and joints. Peace. Have a good one, guys.